Well, George Soros and Bill Gates are at it yet again. I'm so sick of individuals like this who literally are doing everything in their power to take over not only our media and our freaking politics, but now they are seizing something that's really going to silence the last leg that we have to speak truth. And when these things go silent, we are in a crap ton of trouble. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about George Soros silencing our airways. In fact, earlier last year, George Soros bought up a few of the Spanish-speaking stations that were prominent in Florida in order to, well, get rid of all the conservatives on the channel so he can start winning more Latinos, well, for the dark side, for the Democrats and the communists. Not only that, but now he's taken it a step further and has bought over 200 radio stations. This is the last leg, one of the last leaning legs in which we conservatives have always dominated the radio airwaves, but now he's really hampering our ability to do that. And it's a terrifying place, not to mention Bill Gates, who, well, hired a 2 million man recruiting army that targets specifically the internet. But before I get in, just a quick break from my sponsor. Now, we have been told our entire lives that wrinkle creams are the way to look younger, but now one doctor says that that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. Well, recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices. Why? Well, so that he can focus directly on anti-aging revolutionary breakthroughs. Now, his clients have dubbed this do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method because it can take years and even decades off of your appearance in 2 minutes' time. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public where he outlines exactly how to use simple solutions from home. Now, if you want to check it out, all you have to do is go to bhmd1.com/haven. That's bhmd1.com/haven to watch that video. And if you want more information, you can click in the description box below. There's a link down there. Or if you're on your cell phone, click that more button to get more information, but you're not going to want to miss it out, as this product has been life-changing for me personally. All right, back to the broadcast. So let's dive into what this vile dictator, who should have nothing to do with our country whatsoever, George Soros, is doing. Take a look at this article, and this is on the WashingtonTimes.com. George Soros scoops up 220 United States radio stations ahead, and that's the key there, of the 2024 election. Now, the article goes on to state this. And it says Soros has purchased a potentially controlling stake in America's second largest chain of radio stations. According to bankruptcy filings cited Wednesday in the New York Post, his Soros fund management has bought $400 million of debt in the Audacity chain. The Post reported that the fund stake comes to about 40% of Audacity's debt at a value of about 50 cents to the dollar. Now, although not a majority, that could yield effective control over the media giant when it comes or emerges from bankruptcy, the Post wrote. A Republican insider close to the situation told the Post that Mr. Soros could be making the election year purchase in a bid to influence public opinion. That is scary, the source said. And Audacity, who George Soros bought up, owns more than 220 stations across the country and in almost all major markets. Now, to give you an idea of how much power this agency wields, or Audacity has, it's all of these stations here. You can see the city that they're licensed in, from Texas to Seattle to Vegas to Phoenix, LA, San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Wichita. I mean, they really are all over the board. So these stations that now, for the most part, belong to George Soros, he's got a 40% stake. Well, he's going to have a lot of say in what goes on in the dealings of Audacity. And based off of the things that he's done in his past, that doesn't really give a platform to Republicans or conservatives. Now, the last time that he did this, was in about November of last year, where he bought up the radio stations in Florida, specifically Latino stations. Take a look at this. And this is just in addition to, right, as a reminder, I did a whole report on this, but foxnews.com, Soros takeover, FCC clears path for liberal group to buy Spanish-speaking conservative talk radio stations. And immediately following that, of course, the conservatives were leaving. Soros takeover, Nelson Rubio, who was a huge conservative, exits Radio Mumbai before extreme left group purchased the conservative radio. So we have these conservatives being kicked out in droves now, or at least not yet, but they will be as this official takeover of our airways commences. You know, if you really want to silence people, you have to seize control of the media. They already have that. They already have the mainstream media. You have to seize control of Hollywood. They already have that. You have to seize control of the internet. They already have that, right? To add a little fuel to the fire, Bill Gates is building on that very concept. And this is on the People's Voice. Bill Gates recruiting 2 million man strong army to seize control of the internet. How is he doing that? Well, he's going over to India and he's teaching them how to use AI basically to control the internet. And mind you, I don't believe it'll just be in that one country. They can, you know, spread that abroad. So they've got the plan. In order to succeed in what they want to do, they have to control the internet. They're in the process of doing that. The last holdout that we really had as libertarians and conservatives and people who just want freedom was the radio airwaves. And those are slowly being depleted, especially now that George Soros owns a big chunk of the media. This is a bloody nightmare, right? I hold freedom very dear to my heart, and the ability to speak, because I have been doing the Lisa Haven show, if you will, in Restricted Republic. But I started with Lisa Haven. I've been doing that ever since about 2012, 2013 here on YouTube. And I've seen the stark difference. It was so open when YouTube originally owned it, and then it got switched to Google, and all shit hit the fan. And I believe the same thing is going to start happening with these radio stations, and we're going to be more and more silenced, and it's going to be harder to watch us, harder to see us. But we all have to kind of keep prevailing together. We can't let them shut us all down. We can't let them silence us. I mean, if we have to start getting a written newspaper and sending it out by mail, then we're going to do that also. Oh, excuse me. That's one of the reasons I created RestrictedRepublic.com. We're behind a paywall. It's a lot safer place to be now in this kind of environment that we're stuck with. And by the way, as a side note, this is just disturbing on so many levels. Just a heads up here, but here's this article on Blaze Media. I just want to add to it. Alexander Soros and the Huma Abedin share photo that seems to indicate, well, they're dating. You can go on and see. I'm not even going to show their faces because who cares? I like to joke and say Clinton's aide is now dating Clinton's money. Sorry. Oh, gosh. I cracked myself up. Anyway, while we're on the Soros kick, but I don't believe George Soros' son is out for the better of us either, much like his father. But it's a chilling place to be seeing now that they are buying up radio airwaves. And I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but I definitely feel that this is a topic that we need to hone in on. So I wanted to bring it all to your attention. Anyhow, please make sure you're still subscribed to the channel here, and make sure you check it daily because they don't always send out notifications here on BooTube. Anyhow, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.